Before I actually get into how you make a prop, or also known as a model, I want to talk about why you make props. One of the main reasons why when you're doing level design is because you have hard limits to the geometry that you're allowed to put into a map. I'm going to bring up a log file here. This is from the final render of mission 5 of reduction. And you see here are some of the hard limits. The number of brushes here, I've used up 57% of the number of brushes that I'm allowed to use in this map. Brush sides, the same thing. Every cubic brush you put in is 6 brush sides. I've used up almost 66% of my allowed brush sides. If you hit this limit, if you hit 100%, your level just won't render. So if you have a lot of complicated geometry, suddenly you're stuck. You can't render out your map. You can take that geometry, turn it into models. Now you can. Another issue you might run into is what are called water indices. These things are generated by func details, and you don't really pay attention to func details very much when you're mapping an alien swarm, but you do in other Source engine games. When you get a lot of complicated func detail geometry, it generates these water indices. I'm not sure why. I guess the game engine that Alien Swarm and other Source games use is based on the old. Well, it derives its lineage. It goes all the way back to the Doom engine, really. The Counter-Strike engine was built, Valve was built off of the Quake 2 engine, which came from Quake, which came from Doom. So I guess way back then, func details must have been used mainly for water. But when you render out an alien swarm map, it turns all of your BSP into func detail immediately. So it generates these water indices. If you've got a lot of complex BSP, you could hit the upper limit of that, and then you can't render out your map. So then again, if you turn all that complex geometry into models, you then can render out your map. So this is one reason why you want to use props or models. Another reason why you want to turn ordinary BSP into models is for lighting, for dynamic lighting. This crane platform is a model. As it moves through this complex light environment, as it moves in and out of shadow, the lighting changes. The lighting in this map is it's sunlight coming in from the east, slanting in from windows to the east. Models are vertex lit. Ordinary geometry is light mapped. I want you to look at this turntable with these 8, see these 4 spars here that are reaching down from the ceiling? You can see the shadows, they're baked in from the lighting, but they're static. This turntable is a door entity, and the BSP lighting, because the shadows are baked in to the brushes, they won't change. You're going to see when I move, this thing is going to rotate, and you'll notice how the lighting remains static. See, the shadows don't shift and change like they should. But if you contrast that with this crane platform, the crane platform does change its lighting as it moves. So that's another reason why you want to use a model instead of ordinary BSP.